What? I'm back with another video already? Find out what it's about after the titles. Hey everybody, Anthony Dodge, Mile Train Outsider, Märklin Outsider, a Night of the Round Boy Table, back with another video. I know it's been so long since you've seen me. But I wanted to share with you, Joyce and I did something we haven't done in a long time. We went to visit our local model train shop, Ormandy's. Ormandy's is about 2 hours east of us in a town called Medina, Ohio. And let me tell you about Ormandy's. It's an awesome shop. This is a shop that if you're into European, especially Märklin, you have to go. They have the largest selection of Märklin products of any shop in Ohio and any shop in Michigan. I hear there's a really big Märklin friendly shop in Pittsburgh. I've never been there, but I hear it's really big. But there used to be Robbie's Hobbies in Columbus, and Robbie just does not have a huge selection of Märklin anymore. These guys started as a Märklin store, so their Märklin selection is big. Märklin track, Märklin trains. They don't carry a lot. It's not like when you walk into some of the European shops where they got 5 of the same locomotive. They just have a little bit going all the way back to the 70s. Okay, Ormandy's has been in business for almost 47 years. Mr. Ormandy, Ray Ormandy, and his wife, they're in their 80s. He started it 47 years ago, and for most of its life, it was in one of the really nice shopping areas of Medina, which is, it's just one of those old town revitalization bits, and he had a cool old shop. He even had a toy museum at the top. But he is a Märklin Premiere Dealer, which is the highest level, so he's got Märklin. Now, he has branched into Lionel, and he has some American HO stock as well as accessories. So he's got all the track you could need, all the scenery you could need. He's got it all. Figures. He doesn't sell a ton of Valters or Fowler Keebri model kits. He doesn't sell a lot of building kits, but trains and rolling stock, he's got it. And with Märklin, it's an impressive bit. It's a shop that if you like Märklin, old or new, it's worth going there. It's amazing. So I want to share our trip there. We didn't go there to make a video. We went there because I needed some track. We did not interview the Ormandys or Dave or was it Steve? Some of the guys that work there. Now, even though he's in his 80s, Mr. Ormandy is at that shop its entire time. He's as sharp as a whistle. He's a former mechanical engineer. And if he's not busy, he loves to come and talk trains in Germany with you. Okay, let's go to it. We are in Medina, Ohio, and we are visiting Ormandy's in their new shop. Ormandy's train shop, so we're going to go in.
Occasion depends on what it is.
So they gave me permission, so I'm going to go. Ormandy's does all trains, but they do Märklin. So when I need something and I don't want to wait for the mail, this is where I come. It's about a 2-hour drive from Toledo when you add in the rest stop. But they do Lionel, they do American, they do all the gauges. So I'm not doing a full tour here, but yeah, they were in another place and they just moved over here, and there were fears they were going to close. That's the kitty one.
It is the kitty one. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought it might be. Yeah, we're in my world, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, and I don't say that negatively. It's the startup. That would work on my layout for sure. So a lot of LGB, but they do all kinds of models, and so here's the Märklin area. Oh my! I probably don't want to see that.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
But I'll tell you a couple of several oh my's. But yeah, I just came here to pick up some track because I actually need it sort of now, and it's just as cheap. But look at there. There's a Trix N scale ICE 1.
Okay.
So, but these are the closest shop I have. Oh, look at the old 3750 ICE double. And then the one, if I had a roughly $1,000 to just throw away, right here, Kaiser Wilhelm II Royal Train. They've got the 4 box sets right there, and then the locomotive. The locomotive's like $300, and each of the box sets are like $200 or so. I mean, they had decent prices on, but this is a lot of the stuff that they were advertising on their webpage.
Gotcha. Okay.
Unfortunately, the one I like the most,
Yeah.
they don't have. The one I really thought, if I go there, I just might pick it up.
Victoria.
Yeah, Hector Rail. That's,
Curious.
I've got 36639, I think. That's a slightly different one than the one no, that's, oh my gosh. You're gonna have to get me out of here. The first one, the Euro Express here, and then it's got the matching car set down there. All right, I'll shop later. Right now, I'll just do a quick tour of the shop. But they got the Pico Amtrak cars, of course. That's DC, but I got mine converted to AC. But they've got Z scale, they've got N scale, they've got model cars, they've got scenery. They really are a cool shop. I just wish they were closer. I would come here a lot more often if they were closer. There's the Amtrak 7-car set that they actually had at a good price on their online sale. And so just...
Sale going.
Yeah. Oh, what is that one? Oh, that's the Blue Star. 1 car missing, C. John. That's basically a TEE, but they called it the Blue Star Special.
Right.
I'll bet that's a pretty penny. And then the track, which is what I'm here for, although they do have a green car. Oh, and they've got because that was the other thing I was going to look for, to see if they had any of the Märklin labeled stuff. And they actually do have some of the decoders, but I just ordered some decoders, so I'm good. But yeah, they've got all the little track there. But I do love the shop. It's just, it's I probably should come more than once or twice a year, but it's beautiful. Oh man, I need to be a richer man. You've got some things here I want to take home with me, and I already got too many trains.
More than happy to help
I've been
you.
doing this for 40 you got too many trains already. I've been doing almost.
All right, we have got some awesome Z scale here as well, because they have everything. I've already picked out a couple of things, more than I expected to find, and yeah, they've got right here they've got the Metropolitan set, and they've got a Northlander set up here. I just wanted the KLM Koplopa.
If you buy it now, $9.95.
I can't. I appreciate that wonderful offer, but no, I'm already spending more than I should here. But you had something I desperately wanted, and he's got a second one too. And trust me,
Well, I collect O-gauge Märklin.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, so the big ones.
O-gauge.
Right.
Yeah, that's expensive.
Well, the really expensive one is the 1 gauge.
Well, okay. We have a friend who does O-gauge, and every local he buys.
Because that's
I
rare.
have all the number 1 gauge.
Okay. It's up there.
They have just got. See, I haven't even looked anywhere else.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know.
Because see, Joyce, if I were to buy a locomotive,
Yeah.
one of the ones I would be grabbing right now would be this one right here, because that's the 147 version. I've got the 146.5. That's the 147.5. When that came out, I had bought the 146.5, and the next year they released that. It's visually they have the corrugated siding here, but it was upgraded. Originally they were going to replace all the 146s with 147s. So I've got, like, the very first locomotive I ever bought was a 146-2 in Faircares Road, and then you got me a 147 a little later. And then, so they did the same thing. They had the 146.5s, which is the one I've got, but the 147s came in. But that was the one I didn't buy because I had just bought the other one.
I'm back. You're back. Back to look some more.
But I don't know. I can't spend that kind of money, even if it's $200, $300. I can't spend that.
Okay.
I'm spending more than I was going to budget because the track was more expensive than I thought. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff I'd happily walk out of here. And this is only the Märklin area. Oh, they even got the Märklin soccer bit going.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to do a quick finish up around in the scenic area. I'm out of cars and Polar Express and more. Lionel. But this is a great shop. The owner is Hungarian originally, but also spoke German. And then he's run this shop for 40 some years. Although that was one thing I also was going to look at and see what he's got here building wise. He's got some buildings done here. What'd you say? I just heard you say over here.
Yeah, this is where the HL figures. So.
Right. Well, he's got some pre-built buildings there.
Okay.
That's the Woodland Scenics figures and, all the different. See, here's fine ballast. I need to get a couple of tubes of this and a couple of tubes of that. And then even the brownish, just a little bit of that because I want to mix them to get a proper ballast. And then he collects the very rare and hard to find Märklin O gauge, which I only heard they did for a very short while. But this is Cato Unitrack, which is their version of
Flex track.
of C-Track.
Oh, yeah, okay. Of course. So,
And to be honest, I'm not used to seeing it in HO. I'm used to seeing it in N scale because Cato is normally N scale. So just doing a quick tour. They weren't going to be interviewed on camera, but you talk to them off camera. They even do a little Cub Scout thing, just other things you do to keep the business going. But yeah, here are some big ones. And speaking of, 4012 big boy. Yeah. The Vision line.
This is one for Rick. Yeah.
Yeah, 2900.
If he needs another one.
But O scales and 1 scales. And then, and like I said, he used to have a toy museum, and he actually has a bunch of stuff in storage in the basement that you can see upon request.
Well, it says those are for his online.
Yeah. I like that one. I don't know if I could work that into Delmenhorst. $85 for it. Okay. So after I do my final purchase, I'll do sort of a wrap up. I'm just trying to talk myself out of doing anything dumb, right? But the funny thing is, of all the things I was hopeful to find, that was not even on my radar.
Good for 188, bud. About 189.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. I am very glad I came.
but I'm going to steal this other hand. I just bought this. I had no intention of buying this. And I just saw it and said, wow, you've got one. And I wanted one, but I bought the 146 instead. And this is a 147.5.
And these are also 30.
And they just 30% off. And they've got new Märklin, old Märklin. They've got stuff in the basement that they have online, but we'll...
Plus, I got 2 rooms full.
And two rooms downstairs, right? Hi, everybody. We just finished at Ormandy's, and they had a sale going on. I wish I had a lot more money to spend. And the fact that I had talked myself out of getting that one locomotive, and Joyce said, just get it. That was one that was $300 when it came out. They had it for $269 here. I paid $188.
Yeah, and it was on sales.
I wouldn't have gotten that loco for that cheap from Lipa.
Right.
When it first came out. This is new in box, and I paid $188 for it. A 147 in the IC2 livery.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'm ecstatic I got it. There were other ones I probably might have taken more, but that one just drew my eye because I have always wanted that one. But blame her. She said just get it, even when I was like, nah. But they had 2 of the freight cars, Märklin freight cars, that I had been looking for and couldn't find anywhere. And they had them here, and they were cheaper than what their list price was, and then they took 30% off of each one. So, I mean, yeah, I'll talk more about this in the wrap up, but I just wanted to get final reactions because this is a great shop. Mm-hmm. I didn't interview them on camera, because they're busy with customers, but they do talk to us, and I've talked to them before.
Okay, so that was a visit to Ormandy's, and this was not done as a professional tour in any way, shape, or form. Joyce and I did not plan on filming a trip to the store. It just kind of hit us while we were there and looking around, and we did think of other channels that do videos on their trips to their local store, but we asked permission. They said yes. We did not get to interview the Ormandy's on camera. They had customers and were a little shy about being on camera themselves, but they did encourage us to videotape, and they were hoping we would advertise them. So it is a great shop, and the best thing about a mom and pop shop is, and I don't go there that often again, but I went there for one specific thing. And when you go online, you're looking for one specific thing or a couple of things, whatever. You have specific things you're looking for, and because you're clicking on that one thing, that's all you're seeing. When you walk into an actual physical store, the eye candy starts getting you. You do eye shopping, and that's the great thing. So I did get the track I went there to get, but then you see things you weren't expecting to see that you go, oh, that's cool, and I'd love to buy that. I didn't have that kind of money to buy some of these things. The Kaiser Wilhelm Hofzug, oh my goodness, I would have bought that. They even had the Metropolitan at the regular retail price, and then said, they'd knock a couple $100 off of it. So I would have gotten it cheaper than I would have gotten it from Lipa if I could have. Still a little bit over my price. The Northlander from Ontario, all that. Great shop. They are a full Märklin shop. Their primary stock is Märklin. And they've got a great selection, old and new. Now, unlike many shops in Germany, old isn't the old. They don't have a lot of the blue boxes in stock, although they do have a lot of that in their basement, not on display. You kind of have to ask for things too. But an awesome shop, very friendly, very cool. It's, for me, it was more like walking into a shop in Europe than the shops I have walked into in America, where they either have no Märklin or just a limited supply. But these guys have the biggest Märklin supply in the state of Ohio, and I think in Michigan, Ohio. I hear there's a big one in Pittsburgh, PA, that is a big Märklin prime shop. But these guys are official Märklin dealers, so they have about as big a Märklin collection as I've seen. Now, I know there's Renaud's about 5 hours west of me, which is just huge, and there are several on the East Coast. But here in the middle of America, yeah, not readily available, and I have to drive over 2 hours to get to them. So I don't visit often, but they are a fantastic shop. In some ways, I'm glad I don't live closer, because I'd be there more and spending more money. But a couple of things I got. I found these. Oops, I'm holding them upside down. I got these, 2 of these. I have been looking for these, and they are not available anywhere online. Not eBay, nowhere. These are, let's get the right one here, 47133. I've got the most recent Märklin logo locomotive, the Class 249, and I got some freight to go with it, and then I was buying back freight. And anybody watched the Wacky Weekend Light a few weeks ago, right after I got my new train, I was showing all the different logos that came with that black Märklin logo, well, black background with the red Märklin, and the associated rolling stock. And the thing I said, I could not find these anywhere, and I had kept looking and still could not find them anywhere. And then I walk into Ormandy's, 2 of them. I was like, yeah, we're buying those. And then I bought a locomotive, and I didn't even buy it, Joyce did. I had decided, nah, I'm not going to get it. And then the guy kept, and I had told this long story about how I had won that loco and didn't get it, but that was the story of several locos there. But with that one, for whatever reason, Joyce just looked at Dave and said, get it. Bring it out, we'll get it. And I'm looking at Joyce like, no, I was already putting it back. She said, no, get it. And when he walks away to figure out the price, because he's going to take 30% off, I go, why are you getting that? It's like, we got to support the local shops. Okay, so that leads to the final thoughts here. It is a great shop. If you live in the area, if you live anywhere where you wouldn't mind a 2-hour car ride to see a good Märklin train shop, it's worth the visit. I promise you, it's worth the visit. They are a great shop. In some cases, like any shop, you might think the prices are too high on some things, but in most cases, they will make a deal and get it to where it might have been even cheaper than when you bought it new. They definitely have some collectible, rare things that they ask the rare price for, but it's fair pricing too. But like I said, I got these 2 things for less than I ever would have paid. Lipa never had them, but if Lipa would have had them, I got them for less than Lipa would have paid. I would have paid at Lipa, and Lipa is my #1 cheapo. But at the risk of being controversial, this is a shop you gotta love, but it's a shop that if it's going to succeed, especially with its Märklin world, if he wants to sell his Märklin, he's got to get it online, and not an online list like he has. But even that list, I had people in the Saturday live stream and elsewhere already talking to me saying, they've got some great prices. I'd buy this. But I live in Georgia. Yeah, or I live in Denmark, You've got to get an online shop. I would probably buy even more from them because I don't buy much from them. I usually buy some track and some scenery when I see them once or twice a year. Every now and then I buy 1 or 2 pieces of rolling stock. But it's very rare I go there because it's a 2-hour drive, and if I'm going to go with Joyce, it's got to be on a weekend. In the summer, it's not as big a deal. We can get up and go, but I'm often watching my grandson, or I'm doing other things. We have our activities we do in the summer, but it's worth a visit if you do. But if they want sales, they got to get an online store going. I know eBay takes its pound of flesh, and you might have to jack up a little bit of prices, maybe on some of those great deals to cover what eBay's going to take away. Instead of 30% off, 20% off online, 30% if they come in the store, 20% online to cover what eBay takes away, because that'll cover it, because eBay does take its pound of flesh. But otherwise, they would sell a lot of this stuff. If they were to sell it at the prices they were offering these things to me for, the Metropolitan, the Northlander, if they would put that online for the price they offered it to me, and then, $20, $30, $40 shipping, and they'd still probably make a profit on the shipping, at least nationally, whether FedEx or USPS or UPS. Oh, and if they shipped internationally, well, international shipping gets expensive unless you deal with FedEx, UPS. But anyhow, they would sell these things, and they've got really nice collectible things that I know I've already had people say they would buy it if. So the sales are there if they're willing to make that. But otherwise, what an awesome shop. I certainly don't want to criticize. And I understand why they don't want to get into the hassle of boxing that. I would volunteer. If I lived 20 minutes away, 30 minutes away, I'd drive over a couple of times in the evening and box things up for them for a couple of hours and get them ready for shipping. And if they wanted to pay me, I might say, yeah, you know, this loco after a month or after a couple of months, you know, that'll be fine pay. I'd do that. I don't live that close. But it's an amazing shop, and if you have a chance and you're into European trains or you just want to check out a cool train shop, Medina, Ohio, Ormandy's. Check them out. They're awesome. And on that note, I will say to you all, I'll be the Zine. Tschüss, and happy trains. Take care, everybody.